You want a brief statement? Thought our team prepared well. We played well this past weekend and got off to a good start. It was that tournament can go a lot of different ways, and last year we were 2 points away from being 0-2 in that thing. So it's a tough tournament. It's a good test to see where we're at. I know what we got to really work hard on this week, and Eugene, Oregon's a nice place, and have a new appreciation for the color green. Questions?
John, what did you learn about your team?
Well, a strength of ours is serving and passing, which we've been, trying to put in our DNA for this team. But I thought their composure was really good. They stayed in the moment. Whenever Florida and Texas made runs, we didn't panic, so I really like that. We've got to get better at blocking, and I think we can continue to smooth out our offense a little bit. We had some misconnects and some miscommunications and things like that, which is typical for the first weekend, but we got to work really hard on smoothing that out. Can't give away free points like that.
Katie said after the Texas match that you were fairly emotional after that win.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, coming from Katie? Yeah, I'd discount all that.
Did this match feel on the same sort of emotional level as the title match did?
No, it was just, there's a lot of, anytime you play Florida and Texas, there's a lot of emotion that's going to go into it. I mean, it's just think of our football team playing Florida and Texas back-to-back weeks. I mean, talk about the emotion. And, I think the key was you never know how your team's going to respond or play, even though we return a lot of players. So what was most pleasing for me, what I communicated to them, was the effort that they've put in since January. It had been very easy for them to, hey, we're defending national champs, we're going on cruise control, we got it all figured out. They've actually, I think, worked harder this year than they did last year. So that was what was rewarding as a coach. And then to see that come out, when you play, it's very rewarding.
Going into the season, how would you compare last year's championship team to this year's team right now?
Well, like I said, we were 2 points away last year from going 0-2. We were also 6 points away from being 2-0. So that's the fine line that we're dealing with. But I don't know. I can't make any comparisons at this point. We still got 2 new people out there that are still trying to figure things out a little bit. And last year we made big changes after this tournament. So I don't know if there is a comparison.
One of the other things that Katie said was that the team had become aware of some sort of chatter about one of the reasons they won the title match in December was because of the home court advantage, and they wanted to go out and show that they could win it on their merits.
This is Katie Ralston saying
Yes.
this? She must be reading your tweets. So I don't know. They never discussed that with me. I didn't talk to them about that.
Did these two teams expose any weaknesses like you were hoping they would going into the tournament?
Yeah, I just think, like I said, blocking is probably the biggest thing. When you've got the athletes that those teams have, you've got to get 2 blockers on them, and they got too many one-on-ones on us for my liking. And so, again, blocking is the thing that's the farthest behind this time of year, because we can simulate in practice, but it's different in a game. I mean, it's just faster, and you got those dynamic athletes coming at you. So I think that's one area we've got to get 2 blockers on those guys all the time. We did a good job on them, but when they're one-on-one, it's tough. And we were relying on our back row people to try to dig it, and they dug some great shots. And at one point, they got a standing ovation for a rally. I mean, they made like 5 incredible digs. They're flying all over the place, and the crowd gave them a standing ovation. So, but they took some shots, and so that'd be the one area, and I think the biggest focus this week.
Did you have Michaela play in the same slot rotation?
No. So in volleyball 101, you have 2 left side hitter positions. One you call your L1, one you call your L2. Your L1 is in the setter with the front row, with the setter twice in the front row. Your L2 is only up there once. And so last year, Michaela was our L2. This year, she's moved to our L1. So she essentially moved into the spot that Kelsey Fien had. So it means she's going to see a lot more 2-person blocks now, because you have less options when your setter's front row, especially if you don't pass the ball.
John, for an open weekend, is that about as fast as the volleyball team?
I don't know. I mean, I was, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say, but I think there was, anytime you got those 4 teams in the gym, it's going to be high level. And I think what the difference is, Kevin, the athletes now are just getting bigger, faster, stronger. I mean, Ramat is, I'm not sure I've seen anybody like her, maybe since Destiny Hooker. And Ebony is a very unique player. I mean, very physical, and her size is hard to defend. She doesn't have to do it right, and she's hard to defend. So, I think the level is being raised by the level of athletes playing volleyball. And I look at our side. Brianna Holman did some things I'm not sure I've ever seen a Nebraska player do. And I mean, there was a couple of times it looked like her belly button was above the net. That's what it looked like from where I was sitting. That might be an exaggeration, but she can get up and hang in the air a long time.
John, talk about the matches for this weekend coming home.
Well, it'd be nice to be in Devaney, and great weekend with football opening up, so it's always exciting. And my challenge with the team will be, we're in school, and we got to play a great team in Iowa State Friday night. And Iowa State's always up for us. They got a lot of Midwest kids in the same area where we recruit from, and then Oregon State, a Pac-12 team on Saturday. So another good weekend to challenge us to have to play 2 great matches back to back. And we got to prepare for that for the Big Ten. We're going to have to do that, and of course the NCAA tournament. So these first 2 weekends are great preparation for the mindset of having to play 2 great matches, and have very little preparation for the second match.
What's your feelings of the Big Ten this
I
year?
think my feeling is the Big Ten's probably going to be harder to win than a national championship, because there's so many good teams. It's you got to play all different days. You're playing home and away, and I just think it's very, very deep and competitive. I mean, if Purdue's the 9th-ranked team in our conference, that just shows you where it's at, and that blows my mind.
There were a couple other tournaments this weekend where ranked teams were playing each other. Do you think that's good for the sport to sort of kick off the season with matchups like that?
Well, we try to get the best teams here because our fans want to see good competition, and I've always shied away from playing, a bunch of lower level teams, and because I'm not sure we get anything out of it, and our fans don't like it. So I think it's great, and and we played as tough as opening weekend as there is. I mean, we played 2 top 10 teams. I'm not sure anybody else did that. So, but Texas also did, and Florida also did, and Oregon did. So I think it's great for our programs and the exposure. I think the frustration is it's not televised nationally, and that's one of the, it's a great opening weekend. If that was going on in football, it would be, game day and televised and all that. So I think that's one of the frustration from the coaches is why isn't that event on TV? And when we host it in 18, we'll try to figure out the best weekend so we can get maximum exposure.
John, you're for the Red White. You guys did the championship thing on Baylor. Will you do anything to commemorate last year's championship before the home opener?
No. We're rocking and rolling in 16. The documentary, though, by NET is on August 30th, and it is 5 stars. I've seen it. It's outstanding. NET does such an amazing job with those things. I mean, I think it's the 3rd one they've done, and this one is really, really good.
Does it cover the whole season, or just the Final Four?
It kind of through the whole season. Yeah, it goes through the whole season. The Final Four, they have our players are interviewed in there. It's really, really good. Of course, they were in the locker room. They're all over the place with their cameras. So it's a very in-depth look at our team, the season, and all that went on. And but yeah, they go back to early season matches and things like that. It's very good.
Any questions?
Thanks, guys.